They're going to lose and we're going to win.
All right,
Israel and the United States, you just wait to see what comes in the next 2 weeks.
The next 2 weeks meaning what?
Welcome back, folks, and buckle up. We're diving into a clip that pulls back the curtain on some serious DC shenanigans. You know, the kind where our esteemed leaders talk tough, but their motives are as clear as mud in the swamp. Today, we're talking about war, influence, and the folks who seem to have a little too much to say about how America should operate on the global stage. Let's see the fresh new nonsense we can uncover, and let's roll the tape.
We're going to blow the hell out of these people. This regime is in a death row now. It is going to be on its knees. It's going to fall. And when it falls, we're going to have peace like no other time.
Peace like another time? Are we talking about the peace after we liberated Iraq, Senator? Because last I checked, that turned into a 2-decade quagmire, billions of dollars, and countless American lives. It's the same old song and dance, isn't it? Blow the hell out of them. Then suddenly, poof, peace. It's like saying you're going to cure a headache by hitting yourself with a hammer. Sure, the headache might be gone, but you've got a bigger problem now. This isn't about liberation, folks. It's about a constant hawkish drumbeat that always seemed to lead to our kids fighting their wars, while the same old DC crowd pats themselves on the back. It's not peace they're after, it's power, it's influence, and frankly, it's a good old-fashioned brawl that someone else pays for. America, you need to wake up.
We're going to blow the hell out of these people, Senator Lindsey Graham says of the Iranians, which doesn't really sound like liberation to me, Cenk.
Yeah, so first we started with, oh, we're doing it to help the Iranian people. Now we're gonna blow the hell out of them. Although to be fair, Lindsey might not mean kill them. Lindsey Graham saying we're going to blow the hell out of them.
Oh my God, Cenk.
And he talked about how people being on their knees. I don't know. The people are asking. Maybe he does want to help the Iranian people. So I know he's helped the Israelis plenty by doing that.
Don't threaten him with a good time.
All right.
Okay, all right. Now, in that same interview, Senator Graham also admitted that he worked with Israel to rope Donald Trump into this disastrous war, which is already hurting the economy and is deeply unpopular with the American people. Now, Meghan McCain was so horrified by that clip of Lindsey Graham that she wrote this on social media. I've known Lindsey Graham since I was a child. I am imploring anyone who will listen in the Trump administration to stop sending this man out as a surrogate. He is scaring people and doing damage to whatever message you're trying to sell to the American public about the Iran war. Now, Megyn Kelly was equally disturbed. Take a look.
This guy is a homicidal maniac with a bloodlust that is insatiable, but this guy should be nowhere near President Trump. He should not be allowed within 20 feet of the president's orbit, and the president should make the decision to keep this guy the hell away from him, or at least in his own mind, shut down his influence. This is not a force for good in the United States of America, Lindsey Graham.
I actually disagree. I think Lindsey Graham does something that we don't get enough of from other elected politicians and lawmakers. He tells the truth. I mean, he tells the truth when it comes to how bloodthirsty he is.
Hold on a minute, folks. He tells the truth when it comes to how bloodthirsty he is? I mean, at least they're admitting to it, right? It's like finding a vampire who openly admits he enjoys blood. Refreshing in its honesty, terrifying in its implications. But this isn't just about Lindsey Graham's personal appetite for conflict. This is about a specific type of conflict, always pointing in the same direction, always serving certain interests. When every single war cry is aimed at Israel's neighbors, you have to ask yourself something. Whose interests are truly being served here? Is it Americans? Or is it a foreign government? Because if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and only ever flies east when Israel says jump, then maybe, just maybe, it's not an American eagle we're looking at. This isn't patriotism, it's puppeteering.
He tells the truth when it comes to how this war against Iran had nothing to do with liberating the Iranian people. And in his statements, he makes it clear to me that there's something about Lindsey Graham. He seems to be compromised by the Israelis because no one is this bloodthirsty and this ridiculous on a regular basis in public. But you watch Lindsey Graham, he's ridiculous on a regular basis in public. Now, the senator made other revealing comments, Cenk, to the Wall Street Journal last week in a piece titled Lindsey Graham's Quest to Sell Trump on Striking Iran. Here are a few excerpts worth knowing about. Graham liked to play a little word association game with the president. Quote, I say Franklin Roosevelt, what do you say? The Republican senator from South Carolina asked. The correct answer, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. As he ticked through memorable presidential phrases, Graham asked Trump what his phrase would be. Trump said he didn't know. Graham recalled, keep protesting, help is on the way, Graham suggested, referring to Trump's social media post in January urging Iranians to confront their government, which got a lot of people killed, I hear. Graham reminded Trump about ripping up Obama's Iran nuclear deal. This was Trump's moment to make history, Graham argued to the president. What's devastating about this, Cenk, is something that we've known for a long time, but most Americans are waking up to, which is the fact that Donald Trump, because of his ego and because of the fact that he likes to have his ego stroked, is easy to manipulate. And Lindsey Graham is manipulating him successfly.
Ding, ding, ding. So I have an excellent example of how they manipulate Donald Trump in a second. But first, Megyn Kelly and everybody is totally right about Lindsey Graham. Also right about Ted Cruz. Like that, they don't help the Republican cause at all. Every time they're on the screen, like people start flipping over to Independent and Democrat for every minute they're on the screen, right? So, and then in terms of Israel first, please keep putting Mark Levin, Rabbi Shmuley, and Laura Loomer out there. Okay, because it just makes Israel more and more unpopular. You're doing us a great service by having those be your main representatives in America. Keep going. All right, now, in terms of how we got pushed into this war in the first place, which is the essence of this story, unfortunately, it's so easy to manipulate Donald Trump. So first of all, with all of our politicians, we don't know to what degree it's just the money, and it's definitely the money, right? Top donor to Trump is the Israeli lobby, over $300 million. Lindsey Graham, millions of dollars from AIPAC and the Israeli lobby. Or if it's blackmail, I don't really know or care. I just care that they serve us and not a foreign government. And now looking back on it, you say, oh, well, Lindsey Graham was always a neocon, right? But wait a minute, has Lindsey Graham ever said we should invade North Korea, which actually did develop nukes and is far more dangerous?
He might have.
No, before they developed nukes? Not that I know of. He's never been on TV going, oh my God, we're gonna attack North Korea. Every single time he's been on TV, it's attack Israel's neighbors, attack Israel's neighbors. Oh, okay. Iraq war, Iran war, same script, same weapons of mass destruction that's fake. The same, oh, we're here to help the Iranian and Iraqi people. Let's bomb the hell out of them, right? Yeah, you liar, you disgusting pig. All right, now let's talk about the beginning of the war. So New York Times actually, again, I love giving credit where credit is due, and they had a really interesting piece about how this war got started. And I learned a couple of things from it, okay? So number one, did Israel push America into war like Marco Rubio said, hey, we're gonna attack if we, et cetera? Yes, New York Times also confirms from White House officials, Israel said, we're going to attack and you'll be caught off guard and then you'll lose more American soldiers, so you better do as we're telling you.
All right, folks, I had to stop it right there. Wait 1 minute. Let me get this straight. A friendly ally, a nation we pour billions into every year, comes into the White House and says, do what we tell you or we'll start a war and then your soldiers will get caught in the crossfire and die? That's not an alliance. That's called extortion, folks. That's like your friend threatening to burn down your house if you don't buy them a new car. Any true American leader, one not compromised by foreign money or influence, would have shown that official the door so fast their head would spin. This isn't how allies treat each other. This is how a puppet master treats their puppet. It's a disgusting display of foreign policy outreach, and it shows just how deep the rot goes when our politicians prioritize other nations' agenda over the lives of American servicemen and women. Absolutely unbelievable.
Disgusting.
Okay.
Disgusting, deplorable government.
Yeah, now if we had strong leadership, ones that were not compromised, That's when you would grab the Israeli official by the ear and you would walk him out of the White House, and you would never let another Israeli darken the doorstep of the White House. What did you say to me? You're gonna get my American soldiers killed? And you think that's threatening me? And you call yourself an ally? You'd like another couple $100 billion? No, hell no, right? But since almost all of our politicians are compromised, Donald Trump said, oh, okay, sorry, sir, I'm so sorry. We'll go right away, okay? So, but what's interesting is that, in fact, Donald Trump was so interested in going right away, and the Israelis slowed him down. Now, why did the Israelis slow him down? Especially in the middle of, that was in the middle of the Iranian protest, the one that Lindsey Graham just referenced. So Lindsey Graham was like, oh, we have to save those Iranians that are protesting. Netanyahu apparently called Trump and said, hey, our defenses aren't ready yet. Do you understand what the implication of that is? Let those protesters die. Even though Mossad had said they were in the streets starting it, right? And getting those guys killed, Israel said, oh, no, we might lose 1 or 2 extra people because our defenses aren't perfectly ready. So let the Iranian protesters that we're using as a gimmick and a talking point, let them all die. Wait, don't go yet. We want to get a couple more missiles ready, defensive missiles. Okay, so that's who the Israelis are. But the main trick was to set impossible standards. They said, now, Donald, you're such a big, strong guy. You don't want to be a spectator to history. That was a quote that they often used, right? And so what you want to do is, you can get them to get rid of all their uranium, including their stockpiles, and go down to zero enrichment. Iran has said from day one, we will never do that. You will get them to turn over all their ballistic missiles. Iran has said, no, we're not going to turn over all of our missiles. And you can get them to do a regime change and take themselves out and lose power and just put your guy in. Now, if our president wasn't a moron, he'd say, guys, those things are impossible. It looks like you're leading me into a trap where I'll be stuck. I said that we can get all these things done, but we can't get them done. So now I'm in a forever war, just like you guys wanted. Oh, but Trump, not bright enough to figure that out. So they goaded him and goaded him. And by the way, what's really interesting, guys, it's not just the Israelis. The main people goading him are the Israelis plus his own advisors, who are almost all bought off by Israel. So they're whispering in his ear, yeah, Israel's right. You're so big and tough and strong, Donald. You could do all of this. They'll bend a knee to you. They'll do unilateral surrender. Go in, Donald, go in. And finally, J.D. Vance, the guy who's supposed to be the most reluctant for war, apparently they were considering either limited strikes, try to scare Iran one more time, or go full invasion. And J.D. Vance convinced Trump to go full invasion.
I knew it.
Okay, he said go big and go fast and send in everything. So no, J.D. Vance was not anti-war. It turned out at a critical moment, he was the most pro-war. Remember, he's created in a petri dish by Peter Thiel.
Yep.
Peter Thiel is one of the founders of Palantir, deeply connected to Israel and the surveillance and police state that we saw in Gaza and are now seeing at home.
Bingo, there it is. The money trail always leads to the truth, doesn't it? J.D. Vance, the anti-war god, suddenly pushes for full invasion, and then we find out he's a petri dish creation of Peter Thiel, whose company, Palantir, is deeply connected to Israel and profits off war and surveillance. Color me shocked. It's almost too neat, isn't it? This isn't about protecting America. It's about lining pockets, folks. It's about expanding the surveillance state and feeding the military-industrial complex that Eisenhower warned us about. They sell us on patriotism, on protecting democracy, but in reality, they're protecting their bottom line. Next time someone tries to sell you on war, ask yourself, who benefits? Because it's rarely the American people, and almost always the people funding the politicians. Follow the money, folks. Always follow the money.
Deeply connected to profiting off of war, okay?
Bingo.
The guy who created J.D. Vance and funded him in a petri dish is the guy who profits off of war. Anyone who tries to lie to you about what J.D. Vance's actual agenda is, make sure you follow the money. You don't even have to trust us, just follow the money. Because money talks in this country, believe me.
And there you have it, folks. Another peek behind the curtain of DC's war machine. It's clear as day. Our politicians are being influenced, manipulated, and in some cases, outright bought. From Lindsey Graham's bloodlust to the alarming revelations about foreign threats and the money ties of anti-war politicians. It's an absolute mess. But here's the thing. We have the power to change it. Your voice matters. Don't let them pull the wool over your eyes. Share this video, hit that like button, and subscribe for more truth bombs. Let's keep dominating accountability and putting America first. And as always, stay vigilant, patriots. Stay vigilant.